Okay, so it's Sunday and I'm gonna do a little bit of meal prep. I wanna also be eating healthy throughout the week, so I'm gonna show you guys my high protein Bolognese recipe. We're gonna start off with just mincing some garlic and shallots. And to replace the milk in the traditional recipe for Bolognese sauce, I like to blend up cottage cheese with everything here. Everything will be linked in my recipe in the description. So now just take all this and blend it up. This is what it will look like after 30 seconds to a minute of blending. If it's giving you some trouble though, you can always add a tablespoon of water at a time until you get this consistency. And then just to double down on the protein on this recipe, I like to use Barilla Protein Plus pasta. And just for the flavor, I really like Carbone's arrabbiata sauce, but all of these are fully interchangeable. So now I have 2 pots on the stove, one for the pasta, which I'm gonna generously season with salt, and the other for the sauce. Now while I let this come up to a boil, I'm going to start the sauce with some olive oil in the pot. And now we're going to get our garlic and shallots in the pot. Now while these are going, I like to add in all my spices. So I go in with onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, chili flake, and basil. And don't forget the salt and pepper. Now that these are nicely cooked down, I'm going to add in my pound of turkey meat and pound of ground beef. It won't be pretty, but just smash it all together and pray that it comes together. Yep, there we go. Really just take your anger out on it. So now that it looks much worse than before, we're just going to let it cook down until all of the fun juice on the bottom of the pan evaporates and the meat starts to fry in its own fat. Yummy. I don't know how, but this turns into the best Bolognese recipe I've ever made, and it's high in protein, so check out the description. So I know a lot of people think all of this moisture at the bottom of the pan is fat, but I guarantee you if you just let it cook for a little bit longer and let all of that moisture reduce and evaporate, the beef will not taste like beef and water. It's going to taste like fried beef. So now after about 15 to 30 minutes of cooking, you hear that boiling sound of the water turn into frying. And to validate that, you can see there's no more water at the bottom of the pan. So now just let your beef and turkey fry until you're happy with the color. This is 100% just to develop flavor and get that nice Maillard reaction on everything. And now while that's going, we're going to add the pasta to the water. Now you can take your beef darker than this, but it is plenty for this recipe. So now that the beef is done, we're just going to add an entire can or jar of tomato sauce and let it combine. And now we're just going to take the pasta to drain it in the sink. Now that the pasta is drained and the meat sauce is ready, I also did leave about a 1/4 cup of pasta water left in the pot. We're just going to take all of this sauce and combine it with the pasta. And then finally, we're going to add that cottage cheese cream mix. And now just stir everything to combine. I don't think it could get uglier than this, but just trust me that the longer this sits together and cooks, the better it'll be. So if you just had a little bit of faith in me, this is what the final product turns into. So now all you have to do is plate up. And finally, a taste test.
So good for protein pasta.